Hey everybody, welcome back.
Ew.
Hi.
Welcome back to Gear Gaming 365's Descent into Avernus. Right this moment in time, we've been running a little behind, but we've got a few different family issues going on and a few different things that kind of took place in the real world outside of Dungeons and Dragons. And as a result, we've asked a guest to join us tonight. This is Darcy. Darcy is Brendan's brother. Say hi, Darcy.
Hi, folks.
Darcy will be joining us today as Peyton unfortunately isn't able to come to tonight's session. She may pop in later. We've sent her an invite. We don't know exactly what's going to go on, but that's fine. It'll be okay. We're here to play Dungeons and Dragons and have a bit of fun. So,
Yay.
I do believe that the last time we got together, Luca and Robin, you guys had gone to Insight Park and had talked to the druid Trumish at Insight Park. And he had kind of described to you how the drawing tree worked a little bit and sort of talked to you guys about that.
A bit, yeah.
So,
Okay.
as you guys are there in Insight Park, Luca, you look up and you see a familiar face sort of coming in your particular direction. Your old college buddy Nigel just happens to be walking through Insight Park. So that's where we'll pick it up. You guys need any more talk about last week where you guys kind of cased the low lantern and maybe had some suspicious thoughts about the ravens there? So
Yeah.
Yes.
There's, from what Robin picked up, there's some bad juju going on there.
yeah. But you guys are outside Insight Park in the lower city of Baldur's Gate. You just finished talking with Tormish, and I assume we're heading out to try to find Cortana when Nigel comes basically walking around the corner and nearly run into each other.
Nigel, I haven't seen you since the plague. How are you?
Okay, how are you? Yeah, don't check the body, or I mean, don't check the bag. Don't worry about that. You see Nigel kind of just shuffling a bag behind the corner there.
Ah, still at it, I see.
For the pursuit of knowledge and greater education, of course. What brings you to Insight Park on this wonderful, if it is wonderful day?
It's a pretty bright, glorious day, yeah.
Oh, my wonderful allergies kicking in then.
Uh, well, as it happens, and I'm sure this is no surprise for you and me, but a druid gave us a piece of a tree that had a picture on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you mind showing me this picture?
If you go into your journal, click on Strange Drawing.
Strange symbol on a piece of bark. Okay. I'd like to use one of my skill checks then.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll a nature.
Okay. It
Calm down.
is slash R.
/roll.
Roll.
Slash roll. Roll.
Also, on the left-hand side of roll 20, you've got an arrow, a cube, a little paintbrush, and then down below that looks like a polyhedral d20. If you actually click on that, it'll give you kind of a square out of different dice combinations. And then, what's your intelligence modifier?
2.
Are you proficient in the skill of nature?
I am not.
Okay. With that kind of a roll, looking at this drawing, you can tell some important things. First of all, you can tell that this drawing is sap on a piece of bark. It's pretty crude compared to the actual drawing that you see there in your journal. It vaguely resembles a woolly mammoth with a set of wings. With your particular past, it's not something you've really ever heard of. Not a creature that you might have encountered before.
Okay. I would say this is a rather interesting drawing made from sap. You said you got it from a druid?
Yeah, we already chatted with him.
Well,
He
we
gave
don't
us-
actually have the drawing out of character. It
Oh,
would have been a description because we gave the drawing to the priest.
okay.
Very, very articulated.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, let's go with that then.
No worries.
However, you wouldn't mind some extracurricular activities, would you?
Looking at the bag behind the corner, looking back to you guys. Yeah, I could use the distraction.
There's a bar that we're interested in. We cased it a bit, and we get a hint of look to my left and right and lean in, some dark magic there.
You'd see a visual facial tick, and he would say black magic.
Yep. All right.
Nigel, looking by your partner Luca there, you see a very strange, angelic type of female. Robin, do you want to describe your character to Nigel?
Well, I'd say she actually looks human. But she is dressed in brown leather armor.
Okay.
Has a... Let me get down here. Has 2 short swords and a longbow. And she's looking at you really skeptically. She specifically has silver eyes, pale white skin with a hint of silver to it, and golden hair.
Adam.
She's just looking at you weird.
And
At you, then back to Luca.
I'd look at Luca and then back to her. Is there something on my face? I hope not.
Nigel, would you describe your character to Robin and to the rest of us, please?
Yes. If you are familiar with the Witcher game series, I look like the sage from Wild Hunt. I forget his name's passed me, but he's known as Mysterious Elf on his Gwent card. But I look like that. I have a hood over my head right now, especially since it is a very bright and sunny day, and my allergy would say that that is not fortuitous to me. And then I have a low facial covering, so that also helps with the allergy. But I have a skull that is decorated, that's hanging off my waist, along with my short sword, my dagger, and my priestly vestige for, let's say, whatever the good idea in this one is. Let's go with-
Probably be with Pelor.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. Dark elf
Right.
skinned.
Yeah,
dark skinned.
drow, black as night, and hair is white. That is also extremely white. Your generic looking drow type individual, and then silvery eyes, or yellow eyes, correction.
Awesome. Awesome.
So you'll see my piercing yellow eyes through the hood.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So Luca seems to be familiar with this particular person. Robin, do you have any questions or any concerns?
Yours to Luca.
Well, we did some occult investigation work back when we were much younger, and more brazen, I think. Nigel's a professor of necromancy.
Extremely good at it.
Huh. Huh.
interesting that his unique skill set would show up when we have to deal with questionable individuals.
Not really how I would deal with it, but
Something about beggars and choosers, I think.
I have accepted, based on our experiences, that I may not always agree with the choices we have to make. But I'm still going to voice it.
Fair enough. I'll listen.
I've already made some questionable decisions that may or may not haunt me later. But we have a mystery to solve, so that's priority.
Yes. To get you up to speed, Nigel, some of the leadership of this fine city are doing some questionable stuff. You know, the normal rigmarole. But the money game goes to the Low Lantern Tavern, and we're going to attempt to talk to the money man.
This be a legal issue of sorts.
This is a preventative legal issue.
Preventative illegal issue. Writing this down in my book.
Is your lawyer around?
Yeah, he's with me always. But I don't think he's talking much right now.
Well, at least we'll have a lawyer present.
There is always a lawyer present. I just don't know if he'll be talking much, as I kind of gesture towards the skull on my hip.
Oh. Anyway.
And looking at our angelic, or I guess human-looking friend Robin, I would say, no. This isn't foul play. This is quite literally my lawyer.
It's probably better if I don't ask you questions.
It would help. And I would have a rather smug smirk through the veil.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I want to know the answers.
Robin, I do believe that you are the one that was given the sending stone by Captain Zodge.
Yes, I was.
As you are standing there in Insight Park, you can kind of hear the muffled sound of, "Come in, Robin of Sherwood Forest! Come in, Robin of Sherwood Forest!"
I'll pull the stone out, and this is Robin.
Hi, lass, this is Captain Zodge. You recognize his gruff voice coming through the stone.
Right.
You,
Hello, Zodge.
mentioned the Van Thamper family, yes?
I mentioned a noble family, yeah.
Well, I had my lads looking into some different things to do with the Van Thamper family. Would you be surprised to know something now? A couple days ago, the parents of the fine young maiden that used to work for the Van Thamper families reported their daughter missing. Zalmi Gisek was a maid
That doesn't bode well.
from the Van Thamper family. She's been missing now for several weeks, it seems. Hasn't returned home or checked in with her parents, and apparently this is pretty unusual. It took quite a bit convincing from my lads and I to get the whereto of. Are you in a secure location?
We were in the old guy's hut, I think. So I
Well, you
call
guys
that
are
pretty secure.
just outside of his hut in Insight Park.
We'll kind of go off to the side / behind his hut, where it may be less noticeable and conspicuous.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay, I was typing notes.
No worries.
perception check.
Looking around, you don't see anybody that is kind of near you. Looks pretty clear in this section of Insight Park.
I'll tell him, yes, wish to cure.
Zalmi mentioned to her parents a month or so ago that she had noticed some strange going-ons at the villa in which our family that you are investigating resides. Several words were mentioned. These words were concerned to her parents, but Zelmi, she assured her parents that everything was quite fine. Upon going missing, her parents became extremely worried and agitated, and decided to report her missing to the Flaming Fist. Now, I'm not one, to level accusations, especially at a very powerful Priotar family. However, it seems that this particular family might be involved in some devil worship.
Well, we suspect that they have already been using cultists for one thing or another, so devil worship really doesn't surprise me.
I just thought it might be useful to you and your band of adventurers. No.
That is good information.
Hello,
Thank you for...
Cortana.
Thank you for the update.
Not a problem. You guys stay out of trouble. And if you get any news about this particular family, I want it reported right away. You understand me?
Of course. Of course. Question.
Yes?
Do you know anything about the Low Lantern? Something that might be useful to us gaining entry.
It's a pub, as far as I know. There might be a few of my Flaming Fist compatriots there, but not off the top of my head. No, nothing that would be that extremely useful to you. Let's just say that.
No worries. Thank you anyway. We'll be in touch.
You guys go ahead and give me a few minutes of RP, because I've got to rearrange everybody's picture now that Peyton's jumped into the game on the recording. I'm adjusting this on the fly, so you guys give me a few minutes.
It's all good.
I make your life hard over there.
That's okay. Cortana, as you show up to Insight Park...
I'll be intermittent here for the next still 20 minutes. We just got home and the kids are getting down into bed and stuff.
That's fine.
So
That's fine. Just to let you know, your compatriots are over at Insight Park right this moment in time, and
did we pick up a new compatriot?
you can find out about that when you are ready for game. But yes, you did pick up a new compatriot.
Ha 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 ha.
Good guys, give me some role play while I'm fixing this, please.
I would look at the strange talking rock, which I would know what that thing is, but also be more inclined to. So, what's the hips and the haps with y'all? What's the job, I guess?
Well, one of the old proctors from our cultist days, well, he said with very little wherewithal that I should go and enjoy a trip to a bathhouse in Heapside. Let me tell you something. He's got a wicked sense of humor. I ran into Robin and her travel companions, but there was little bathing to be done at the bathhouse.
I mean,
So
that's
very
how it all.
cool.
That's how it all started, anyway.
I don't
Oh.
follow.
I mean, I didn't get to bathe. I can't speak for their group. Well, at the end, we got to bathe separately and respectfully.
Still a war band.
Yeah, there was a cult in the bathhouse. To
Colt
Well-
in the bathhouse.
I mean, in the sewer below the bathhouse, but yeah.
Colt in the sewer below the bathhouse.
yeah,
Sounds like an interesting place for a cult to be. Do they worship the bathhouse? Is that the cult that they follow?
No.
no, that
Much,
that
much
would have
worse.
been more in line with an occult investigation that I could write about. No, this was your standard murder cult, plotting, even a dead worshiper, the bone god.
Bane, Ball, and Merkel.
Yeah, Merkel, the skeleton.
And then when we got back up, we had to deal with the cult of Tiamat.
Oh yeah, I took a mask from them. They tried to take it back, and I said no. You know, more forcibly than that, but I like the mask and plan to use it later.
Luca, getting yourself into trouble once again.
Always.
Nigel, being a necromancer, I do believe that you would probably recognize the god Merkel. It is known otherwise as the Lord of Bones, the god of secrets, kind of undeath and death itself.
Right. So, we got individuals who are having fun with Merkel. So what's the game plan now, folks? We're going to this bar, I assume.
That would be ideal.
Did we lose everybody but two boys? Go
Okay.
figure.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Alright.
Take. It's not for me.
We're getting signals from beyond the void.
What?
There. I muted Peyton for now.
There's a random bard walking down the street.
That's what it
Ah.
is, exactly.
Random bard.
Random bard.
Yes.
A group of followers of the iTunes going by.
Ah, there you go.
I actually like this song, you guys.
We've encountered a lot of cults really quickly, all of them fighting over this bathhouse and the sewers under it. You even got some family intrigue too. I believe that's what the call was about.
Yes, yes, it was. But not using names in a town as screwed up as this is better for all of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
just family intrigue of the higher sort.
Where is this bathhouse
Everything
located?
in a place.
Keepside.
Eepside.
I hope the background noise for me isn't too terribly much right this moment in time. But the bathhouse was located way over here on the map.
Okay.
So,
Darcy and I just got called for dinner.
okay. That's fine. Guys, we'll be back as soon as you can. It's just you and me, Robin. What do you want to do? Hey, this is the most on the fly D&D session that could possibly be, but that's part of D&D.
It's okay.
Yeah.
People are trying to be here. I should have asked if he found anything out about Nottingham.
I had to mute you, Peyton, because your phone was ringing, but now you're back.
Oh, weird. And I turned my phone on silent. I don't know why it
Don't know,
even rang at all.
but you were ringing,
Um,
so I had you on mute. But now you're
okay.
back.
Actually, I'll be right back. Let me make this phone. Let me call this number back.
Yeah, go take care of things. And we're down to 2.
Pull the sending stone back up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, Zaj, come in. Do you copy? Zaj. I don't know
Yeah,
why I said
lass.
that. Have you found anything out about Nottingham?
Listen, with all the Hell Riders and all the refugees currently in the city, you've got to give me more than 24 hours if you want to find any information. Apparently, the report that I just gave you was given to us about a week ago. But when I told one of my soldiers to look into the particular family, they were able to find that report. So, unfortunately, with everything going the way it is, you're just going to have to give me more time.
Understood. Thank you.
Zaj out. I guess I wish I could remember his name, or his voice.
It's all good. So I'll put the stone away again.
Okay.
All right. Now I am back.
Back. Well, welcome back, Cortana. You were last heading from the bathhouse, I believe. At this point in time, we're just going to say that you were kind of following along as a silent partner. Maybe you got pulled away for some religious ceremonies, but you were given information as to where to catch up with your
Okay.
team.
Last thing I remember is I don't remember. I remember I had the conversation with the priest and the fight in the streets where somebody got pickpocketed, and that's about where I remember leaving off.
All right. Your compatriots had traveled to Insight Park, which is the park where the druid got the drawing tree exists at.
Yes, I remember.
So they went to Insight Park to try to get more information about this drawing. Other than that, they didn't really get too much further. I'll let them fill you in on what they did after Insight Park or before Insight Park. So
I'm assuming we're on our halfway break at the moment with 2 people.
we've been just kind of playing by ear. They got called away for dinner. So since we kind of getting started late a little bit, we're just kind of, we don't have Grace tonight, so I'm recording and running the game at the same time, so we can go past 9 if we really felt like it. So we'll see.
Sure.
A lot of this is play by ear.
How did your guys' orientation go?
Well, it was fine. Got in and out, and I was actually back by 6. Ironic.
Yeah, ours was since last name D. We were the first 30 minutes.
Nice.
Right at 4.
All right. Do you want to drag your token out?
Oh yes. How do I?
Just grab your name.
Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Upon arriving at Insight Park, which is basically at one point in time a great big huge junk pile that's been grown over with foliage and growth, you come across Luca and your friend Robin. I'm not sure if Luca is considered a friend at this point in time, but you've got Luca and Robin. They seem to be chatting with a
he's a potential friend.
Dark clothed, what appears to be drow elf. He's got a dark face covering across his lower half. He's got dark hood on, trying to shade himself from as much of the sun as possible. The white hair. He's got a strange bag full of something behind him that he's kind of shoved off to the side, and hanging off of his belt you can tell that there's a skull.
Okay.
And he has yellow eyes that are kind of showing out from behind his hood.
Yeah.
not knowing who the new person is, and much closer with Robin than I am with Luca. I'll just kind of make straight towards Robin. It's good to see you guys again. Did you find out anything in my absence?
You're back.
I know
Well,
it wasn't that long, but with everything that's going on, every little bit of time feels like a long time.
I think that it's just better if you have that drawing in your possession. One thing the druid told us was that the drawing really only means something to the person it was presented to when the time arises. No amount of. It's just not going to mean anything to anyone but you when the time is right.
All right. Can I like flag down a messenger around?
You can definitely find a messenger. You're in the southern section of Brampton.
I just wanted to get somebody to go up and deliver a message to the priests I handed the painting off to see if they deliver it to me.
The easternmost
Versus
lower
us going up there.
the easternmost lower city neighborhood, Brampton, is notoriously poor. Its location making it the worst for residents seeking to serve upper city denizens. So it's like the poorest section of lower city. You would know that you might have to go to the outskirts of Brampton to get a reliable messenger service. You can try to get one here, but there's a chance that they might just take your gold and run. So it's whether or not you want to risk that. There is a couple of teens hanging out in the Insight Park there.
What are you trying to do?
I'm looking around. Well, I just figured I would versus us going all the way back, out on the outside of town to go and retrieve the painting, maybe flag a messenger to see if the priest would deliver it back to us. Save us a little bit of time.
Where we're gonna be going, it might be safer to leave it with the priests for now. I'd hate for us to lose it.
That's true.
I mean, you did just recently have something pickpocketed off of you.
Yeah, I think it's safe and it's fine where it is,
Okay.
especially in this neighborhood.
We'll just before we leave town, if we have a need to leave town, we'll grab it.
Oh, definitely. Apart from that, this is Nigel. He is a necromancer friend of Luca.
Ah.
College roommate.
Luca went to college? Doesn't seem like a college man to me. I'll say that in your mentally in your head.
One can learn many things in a college,
That's true.
and there are colleges of all kinds.
That is also true.
So,
Do you want to relay to your friend Cortana what you might have witnessed at the specific place where you and...
absolutely.
Okay.
So, we did get a chance while you were running your errands to take a look at the Low Lantern. It is an aging ship that is not seaworthy and permanently docked. From all accounts, it's open day and night. It's your basic seedy tavern.
So pretty much like every other tavern inside this city.
But this one's made from like an old ship that used to be seaworthy that's like chained and anchored in and isn't anymore. It has ravens that seem to reside on some of the old tattered sails. there were dead seagulls along the ship itself, and I watched as one fell from the sky, and I watched a raven land back on one of the sails, but I don't recall it ever taking off. So there's definitely something strange about the potential security of this particular former vessel that we might want to be very leery, very watchful in our approach.
Seems like pretty much every other place we go to.
Yeah. This one's a bit more ominous feeling. I got a sense that there might potentially be the presence of fiends nearby when we were checking this place out. Not sure what to make of that, if it applies to the Low Lantern itself, but it's worth noting and being cautious. So, I believe the idea was to seek out Amric. Not sure what we were wanting to discuss with him, but that's where I believe he would be.
I don't remember why. What were we going to talk to Amric for again?
That's what I'm flipping through my notes because I don't recall.
Mortlock Van Damper was the big brute of a man that you guys encountered in the dungeon of the Dread 3. He let you know that Amric was paying the cultists to carry out the attacks. He was essentially the money man behind everything. You were potentially going to go talk to him about that.
I mean, really what we're trying to do is gather proof that there's something nefarious going on within the Van Thampler family. So I don't know if going in guns blazing is necessarily the apt choice for us. I believe that letting Luca and his associate take the lead on this one might serve us better. We could just be silent guardians while they maybe try to weasel their way in and see if they can gain some trust and get some information.
Sounds good to me.
I think this mission needs to be more deceptive in nature.
And deception, not something I'm good at.
As much as I hate to take that approach, I believe in this case it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm more the rain fire from the heavens, hallelujah type person.
I'm more the not a big fan of evildoers, so.
Yeah, that's why I rain that's why I rain fire from the heavens upon.
Sorry, I crossed my eyes, and it took a lot to come back. Oh, Kochana, you're here.
Ah, yes.
Thank you. Are you feeling better?
Was I not feeling good?
You
potentially
had mentioned that you needed to go to the temple to get the curse of Merkel removed.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, the priest had come to the docks and met us at the docks and removed it.
Oh, yes. That happened. There was a fight that I was far more interested at the moment.
True.
I'm sorry, I'm more akin to danger than normal activity, and I suppose priests healing folk is normal.
Seemingly.
That is to
So-
say, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Me too.
So we were discussing, Luca, that I think in going to attempt to talk to Amric and gather information,
Mm-hmm.
you and your compatriot may have a better lead, so to speak, on handling
Handle.
this. We'd be better silently in the background as security, I suppose, while you two do the talking. If anyone's going to get through and find any information out, it would be you two, I believe.
I appreciate you placing that sort of mutual understanding. I plan to use the mask that we picked up to test the waters a bit and see if I can drum up any of those cult members. Since I know the rigmarole, I may be able to see who's who and what's what down there without actually playing my hand.
I did say I would voice if I don't approve of methods, but unfortunately, I don't think that counts for much right now. I think this is the only way we can proceed.
I mean, I could go without the mask in, but then all these shady individuals would know what all of us actually look like if they don't already. At least at this, we may be able to get a particularly stupid cultist of Tiamat to say something they wouldn't normally say, sans the mask.
Well, I'm beginning to trust your judgment on things.
I appreciate that and give you full purview to not trust my judgment at any point.
I as far as your compatriot, trust is earned. So, after you. Kind of.
Out of character, Darcy may not be able to come back on. Stuff happened. We're playing it by ear.
Okay, no worries.
Yep.
But I'll put my hand on my bow at that.
We've been run out of a couple towns before.
That was more for his character than you.
Nigel is currently in consult with his lawyer about the legality of potentially entwining himself on this particular mission. So he's off talking with his skull at this moment in time. They're off to the side, just having a conversation.
He's Shakespeare right now.
You guys are overhearing a bunch of legal terms. Here
What
two
does it
of the
mean?
parties henceforth known aforementioned parties shall be known as and trustee and trustor.
Considering that we'll be needing to deal with all of this inside of the confines, I don't know that day or night makes a particular difference. In the spirit of not letting them have more time to prepare, might I suggest that we do what we'll be doing?
Agreed. I also think that he's more likely to be there during the day, so that may be better. If you actually want to encounter him, daytime might be the way to go, potentially.
Oh, thank you for that insight. Well then, let's.
I don't see good in the dark, so daytime.
I would hope this establishment has some lighting. It is a tavern,
Yes,
unless it's
but
one of those.
watching our backs outside, entering and exiting, we'll be able to catch any tails much easier in the day.
Okay. I would vote that we start heading over. When we get to the head of the wharf, right about here-ish, I would recommend that I'll tail off, switch the mask on, and then head in ahead of you two.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think we would be behind you anyway, just kind of as your private guard sort of um, dynamic happening.
Alrighty.
All right.
So
Let me.
I'll dip in, switch to the bumbling cultist of Tiamat that's come from a failed mission, and start nervously heading down the way towards the low lantern.
Okay, let me switch you guys over to the low lantern map and reestablish your view of the map. You guys can redrag your tokens out and place them accordingly. This is the upper deck, and since Cortana was not here earlier, I will just reread the brief description that it gave previously. Fog obscures the low lantern until you get within 100 feet of it, whereupon its tall masts and creaking bulk come into view. The converted ship has rigging but no sails, and it is anchored to the wharf by thick chains. A wooden staircase climbs from the wharf's edge to the main deck. A lantern at the bow casts an eerie green light to signify that the tavern is open for business. Wow, I got caught up on that pretty bad. Sorry. But so you have the deck of the ship. You can make out a couple of ravens up on the mast. There is no sails, so it is just the masts and the ropes. But that's it.
Okay, sorry, I have bad description.
No worries.
As we're walking up, is it conceivable that like parts of my mess kit would have soot on them? I just want to like smear some on my face like a mask.
Highs or lows?
Lows.
Let's see. D100. Roll. Nothing in your mess kit is extremely dirty right this moment in time. But as you are passing through Lower City, there are plenty of piles of garbage and junk just outside of random buildings. You can grab some of that, and if you want to apply some of it to your face to sort of mask your appearance, you could do that.
It was just gonna be, kind of a crude version of his mask. Cultist type of follower disguise thing that I'm gonna try to pull off.
You can roll. Let's go with. Oh gosh, what is a good disguise myself roll? Hang on,
I don't know.
let me look at your character sheet real quick.
Survival.
Roll a.
I mean, just to see if it's any more believable that
roll
I'm
a
like following
performance.
him.
Roll a performance.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you grab some like garbage and kind of like smear it on your face a little bit, but it basically just makes you look like you dirty.
Well, I mean, seedy people are dirtier, I guess.
Yeah,
that works.
Considering
So we're trying to kind of.
Go ahead.
I was saying we're trying to kind of keep our distance from Luca, right? To not look like we're together.
No, we're together, but we're following at a safe distance, like as their security kind of a.
Okay.
All right.
So what's a safe distance
activate...
to you guys?
Right where we are, within 5 feet behind them.
10. That's.
I'm gonna activate my mind link on Luca, so I'll reach into his mind and say, "As long as you're within 40 feet of me, we can communicate this way. If anything arises, you can safely communicate something, and I can relay it to Robin."
So that's how you were able to work with Sarah Lynn so efficiently. I like this option.
It is nice. It makes it easy to watch each other's backs without giving everything away.
That's why we stare so intently at each other without saying anything.
And say, thank you, for looping me in.
Is this the first time I've done that? I thought I've done it before with Luca.
I
Nope.
don't think it's been done to Luca yet.
Okay.
Okay, so Luca, you're gonna go ahead and make your way into the low lantern.
Yep.
Or, let's see. Give me a second, guys.
Yep.
Which particular staircase are you gonna go down? Looks like there's only one, so you're gonna go down that staircase there. Okay.
I was gonna say, am I missing a staircase I don't see?
No, I'm looking at the map wrong here. Alright, so if you guys shift over there, that's where your tokens are going to come down. Let's go ahead and reveal out that. Let's go ahead and reveal out that. Alright, so you've got a pretty large common room here. The main deck of the old ship features wooden steps that climb to the forecastle and aft castle. The other set of stairs descending into the ship is a padlocked wooden hatch fitted with windows that acts as a skylight for the deck below. The tavern proper, visible through the hatch's glass panes. 4 dead seagulls lie on the deck, and 2 ravens squawk at you from the crow's nest. A 40-foot climb up to the ship's rigging. That's the main deck. After you make your way down to the steps, you can see that there is a door here located at the bottom of the steps. Seems to be closed to anyone coming out. Then you guys come into this section here. Looking around, you can see a Kenku barkeep behind the desk of the bar. You can make out a halfling sitting on a bench with a pipe in his mouth, smoking and sort of singing along to the tavern music that's going on. In the northern corner, you can see a pretty drunk and nasty looking flaming fist soldier, scruffy, dirty looking human. You can see a Durgar, which would be a dark dwarf, sitting by a table by himself, sort of with a mug of ale in his hand. There's a few other look to be just rough people. This particular individual just kind of looks you up and down. He's got the arms crossed and is watching you guys. You might get the impression that this particular individual might work here at this bar. Across the way, you can see another commoner just eating at a turkey leg. He's got kind of pointing ears, but more human features than anything else.
It's a Lego fig.
Another elf figure sitting, or no, this is a human figure sitting over here, and a couple of drow sitting here by themselves at a table. And you can tell here, sitting at the bar, is a middle-aged female who looks up at you guys as you walk in, and she says, "Well met! My name is Liera Tundrith, but folks around here call me the Captain. If you're thirsting for a beverage or looking to gamble, you've come to the right place, but watch your step. Things can get pretty messy around here."
I look down at the floor. In my head, I'm probably thinking it already looks messy.
You are assaulted by the smell of stale ale. Clearly some vomit or bile that perhaps hasn't been completely cleaned up. The stench of dirty sailors, dirty people close in with each other, as well as the kind of wooden smell of a ship in general, and the creakiness of the ship itself. So.
I'll head to the barkeep and say,
The barkeep just kind of looks at you, in a really high-pitched, kind of a squeaky voice says, "What do you have?"
Ale.
Turns around behind you and grabs one of the barrels and pours some ale in a cup, sets it on a counter, and in the voice that you just heard rehearsed speech to you, in Liara's voice, you hear, "That'll be 2 copper pieces."
Would set the 2 copper and slide it over.
The winged kind of hand comes up and scoops it behind a counter, and the Kenku just kind of goes back to cleaning glasses.
Going to sit down here.
Okay. So the person you've sat next to seems to be half elf. You pick up a scent off of this particular person that reminds you of horses. They kind of, somebody that works around horses, they sort of get that smell just stuck to them a bit. He kind of shies away from you a little bit and, can I help you?
It's rather crowded, and these seats seemed available, so now I'm sitting here.
Yes, there's more seating downstairs, and points to the access to the lower level here in the middle of the floor.
I wouldn't move.
He kind of shifts in his seat a little nervously, but he doesn't seem to get up or anything.
Like to look around and see if anyone is moving or repositioning now that I've broken the social status quo.
Looking around the room, the halfling that's sitting over at the bar has thrown back yet another drink and seems to be kind of belting out this random sea shanty that you've never heard. The Flaming Fist soldier at the northern table is kind of eyeballing you and then kind of shakes his head a little bit and seems to go back to his drink. But otherwise, nobody seems to be paying you much mind.
I would nuzzle my drink for a bit, but don't imagine that I can drink very efficiently with the mask up.
Oh, so you've got your Tiamat mask on?
I do. I wanted to enter with it.
Okay. The person that you're sitting with just kind of keeps looking at you and then looking at the 2 people that have surrounded him, and looks from you towards Cortana and stands up and starts to make a move to exit the table towards Cortana. Cortana, you kind of get the feeling that this person has sized up the individual in the mask and the individual with the crap on her face and decided that you're the least threatening person of the 3 of you, and it seems to be trying to remove themselves from the table. Are you gonna?
In Luca's mind, I'll ask him, do you want me to let this guy go?
Say, do so without being obvious about it. Watch where he goes.
I'll kind of scoot out of the way.
He makes his way past you and kind of gives Luca a wide berth, sort of going a little bit closer to the drow. Stops over by the bar and seems to be ordering himself another drink, and then moves a couple of seats down from drinking halfling there.
Once he's settled, I'll switch to this seat so that my face is visible and I can see the goings on here.
Okay. The two drow across from you seem to be kind of talking and back and forth, but they're pretty close to each other. Can't really see very much there. The person to the south there seems to be just pretty drunk at this point in time, kind of swaying back and forth, out of time completely to the halfling song. The Drogar here, he holds up his hand and kind of waves at the Kenku barkeep, who brings another drink out to him, sets it down on the table and collects payment, and then returns behind the bar.
People aren't following social distancing very well.
Well, there's no pandemic in D&D right now, so
We could create one.
There's always the plague.
Yep. Try to quietly say to Robin, is your threat indicator respond to anyone you see based on yesterday's feelings?
One second.
this person here, immediately to Robin's north, seems to be keeping an eye on your particular group. You would also surmise that this individual seems to work here, probably as a bouncer. And you notice him kind of like nod his head towards the individual down here, and they both are kind of keeping an eye on your particular party. So
I'll kind of lean in quietly as well and tell him it seems that the guards here aren't very trusting of us. Apart from that, there's not much I can tell.
Let's attempt to go down another floor and see if the guards intervene. It would be fortuitous if they attempted to approach me directly, and we should listen to what they say, especially if they let on that someone expects us to do something. Any information at this point is better than none.
Understood.
So
I'll start heading towards the stairwell down.
Okay. Are you gonna go ahead and go downstairs?
Yes.
Okay. So let me, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I opened up the next section of the ship. This, what you would see as you walk down the stairs there. You would begin to see like the bow of the ship. You can also tell that this particular individual standing here at the bottom of the stairs seems to be more reminiscent of the other individuals. They seem to kind of wear a color scheme that makes you think that perhaps these individuals work here. As you walk downstairs, he's just leaning against the pole. He seems kind of just bored. You can also tell as you get to this particular floor that there's a little bit less activity here. There's not as mmany people. I'll go ahead and reveal the rest of the floor because I imagine you're going to walk around the...
Mm-hmm.
You're going to walk around and like take a view of the whole thing. As you get down to the bottom of the stairs there and walk around, this tavern lounge fills an entire deck and is lit by oil lanterns hanging from the 8-foot-high ceiling. They are hung on 1-foot-long chains. The windowless deck contains a bar, couches, coffee tables, and tables where patrons can socialize and gamble. You can clearly make out 3 bouncers in plain view across the deck. You also spot another Kenku barkeep, and at the far end, at the very aft end of the ship, you can make out what appears to be a gentleman lounged on a chair, just arms back, and sitting on the couch directly behind him, you can make out an interesting looking figure.
Are we close enough to see what the... Ooh.
This is sitting on the couch behind the individual. Sitting at the aft side of the ship.
I am.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as soon as I see that, I am visibly upset.
Okay.
My face is starting to get red, and I'm clenching my bow white-knuckled.
Okay. Besides the 2 individuals sitting at the backside of the thing, the individual sitting in the couch with his arms back behind his head, you can make out is this individual. This individual sitting at the bar here seems to be a human that kind of has looked up at you guys, sort of taken stock of you both, and then visibly yawned and kind of like sat back down on the bar like this. Red-haired, long ponytail, not wearing any of the same gear as the other individuals here, but is kind of keeping his eyes on the aft section of the ship.
And I waited just a bit until after Luca came down, before I came down, to not have it be known we were necessarily together.
As you walk up, you hear Lyria's voice from the barkeep. What can I get you?
Was very clearly following him. Just, I wanted to follow his instructions to see if anyone cared when he went downstairs before I followed.
Didn't seem like anybody from the top room really cared that he went downstairs.
But I am very visibly with him and trying really hard to contain myself.
Okay.
I'm going to mutter to her, I believe that I can work that devil if you can keep your cool. Can you keep your cool?
Through clenched teeth for a time.
You need space. Stand behind me. You don't have to look at it. You should know I can speak to them as part of my craft. I hope that won't bring anything up to hear me speaking their language.
I can speak their language as well. Is this a booth that he's sitting in?
This seems to be 2 couches facing each other, and there's just a coffee table between them.
Alright, so I'm gonna sit here with my back to the devil, which I'm really not comfortable with, but it's better than staring at it.
Okay. You guys can
sorry,
also... Go ahead.
You asked if I wanted a drink, right?
Yeah, the barkeep did.
Yes. I'll order. How much is your finest ale?
You hear a completely different voice. 2 copper pieces.
I'll flip him a silver because I don't have any copper. Say, keep the change.
Bird hand definitely catches the thing, and you see him reach underneath the bar and pull out a cup, but there's clearly like 3 or 4 cups already on the bar that are empty. Turns around and fills it, and then hands it to you.
Can I insight this to see if there's anything funky about this cup?
Sure, good.
What do you want? Insight, perception,
insight.
Insight. I'm hoping it's just this is a more clean cup for tipping him really well.
looking at the Kenku looking at your particular face, seeing the confusion and the kind of concern written on your face, just you hear a stranger voice just, "It's a bit cleaner."
I figured that was what was going on. Thank you.
And it just nods and goes back to, spits in a cup that it's currently got, and it kind of like uses its wing on the inside of the cup to kind of clean it.
So he's spitting it twice. It's cleaner.
Cleaner to a Kenku.
Oh, that's so great.
Can birds spit?
Kenku can.
I
Kink again.
raised my mug towards Amaric's direction.
Okay. Did you say anything?
Not from this distance. I'd have to probably bellow over the noise. Trying to play it subtle-like at the moment.
You don't seem to garner any sort of reaction from the aft side of the ship. He seems to be just kind of like kicking back. He's got his feet up on the coffee table right there, and he seems to just kind of be twiddling his thumbs behind his head, just like this, and in this position, kicked back with his feet up on the table.
I'll set my mug down, tell Robin that I'm going in to speak with the fiend. We'll slowly walk towards the fiend.
The fiend is small, so it's only about 2 feet tall, and it's sitting on the back of the couch right behind Amric.
So it's like a cat.
Yeah, so it's like perched right here behind him.
Okay.
It's
I would
just Roll20 doesn't
see.
make much smaller tokens, so it's what they've given me.
Mhm.
But it's supposed to be like, essentially, it's supposed to be kind of like that.
Okay.
As
If I am able to make it here, I'll do so. If not, then I'll wait for the people to step forward and shake me down.
as soon as you approach the couch, his feet come down off the couch, his arms kind of come down, and he sits up a little bit, and he looks you up and down a bit, gets this curious look on his face, and down on your luck, cultist. Have a seat.
I would give a gracious thank you sign with my hands, namely both of them about mid-rib level, showing nothing's in either,
Okay.
and then sit down with kind of mirroring his general posture. If he gets more tense, I'll get more tense, but if he seems relaxed, I'll stay relaxed.
Okay. He seems pretty relaxed as you sit down. Amric Van Thampor, at your service.
That is what I was told to expect. We ran into complications, and
Well, isn't that always just the thing? Complications in life.
there are 2 of us that remain, though one failed at the first rule. Don't get caught.
Okay. My friend, you have me at a bit of a loss. Are you here for a loan, or...
There was some money discussed, but I was told that we would reconvene here, though there are gaps in the instructions.
Again, my friend, you seem to have me confused with someone else. I'm not quite sure what you mean. If you're here for a loan, then I'll be happy to loan you some gold to cover whatever debt it is that you're seeking to pay back. I mean, my terms are quite simple. I expect payment within a 10-day, and my interest is 25%. If you've come for Amric, then I know you must be clearly down on your luck.
I would appear to muse over these terms and then ask the spined devil whether this one supports the usurper or the rightful ruler of Avernus.
Okay. Hold on just a second. That's an interesting question to ask this particular individual. That's not what I wanted.
It's a good question. I'm just leaning on the wall.
Okay, the spined devil behind Emmerich kind of like shifts a bit and says in an infernal, well, yes, of course he does.
This mortal, pointing to myself, I'm saying all this in infernal, comes from the rightful ruler of Avernus and does their work. Does this mortal, indicating to Amric, share similar loyalties?
Amric says in common, did you just come to talk to Kashira? Or are you here to make a deal?
Say, I must verify who I'm working with, and between the two of you, I double.
You just went all robot
More.
on me.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. I just didn't understand what you asked, so if you could repeat it, that would be...
So, to Amric, in common, in response to the previous question, I came to deal, but between you and the one behind you, I trust the devil far more. I need to verify that I am, in fact, about to make deals with the correct individual.
Well, very well then. Carry on. Kashira, answer the gentleman's question. The spine devil looks at you, kind of cocks its head and says, this one's family has the full support of the rightful ruler.
Would point back to myself. This one has been tasked to beguile, confuse, and sabotage as needed. As you can tell, this one serves the rightful ruler, yet wears the face of an imposter.
Amric just kind of sits there for a few minutes, and Kashira doesn't respond to what you say for a moment, and then says, perhaps you should make your deal and be gone before your friends take action. Kind of like turns and looks towards Robin's direction.
Can I hear all this?
You can. I don't suspect that you're like being extremely quiet, or are you trying to be quiet?
No, I'm openly standing there.
Yeah, I know, but also I'm asking Luca how quiet he's trying to be.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm speaking conversationally because if I start acting real suspicious, I don't think that the goodwill I've built up with my party is going to last very long.
Okay. You, Robin, can overhear what's happening as there's not much more conversation happening down here on this particular level, and they are talking more conversely and more open. Amric says, claps his hands together and says, "Excellent! It seems that I have been vetted? Yes? As
Yes.
Kashira has not attacked you or anything like that?"
Indeed.
Can I insight whether or not he understood the devil when it was talking?
I would tell you that you could roll insight, but I'm going to require you to roll at disadvantage due to where you're standing and you can't see his face from this angle.
Fine.
Okay.
Body language, anyway.
Ooh. He says to Luca, he says to you, "So, exactly how much are you looking to borrow?"
Well, your brother is a difficult individual to pin down. How much are you willing to put towards that endeavor?
My brother? Which brother? You forget I have two of them, and why would I want you to go after one of my brothers?
You certainly didn't have any issue with the less skilled chapters attempting to attend to him, at least from what we picked through. Whatever sum was put towards them, surely you can afford 15% more than that.
My good sir, are you attempting bribery or perhaps even blackmail on a Van Thampor? Accusing me of having something to do with one of my brothers? And some nefarious group? Surely you jest, sir.
I would attempt to jest as much as I can with a mask on and say, of course. Why ever would anyone make such serious allegations?
You have a message, Rachel. I don't know if you're reading Roll20 or not. I answered your question in Roll20. Sorry, I try to use that when I have, like, when you ask me specific questions and you need a specific response, but the party doesn't want to know. Just so remember to try to read your chats.
Yep.
Listen. You show up here wearing a dragon mask, and clearly you're a cultist of some sort for someone, talking to my associate, Kasha, and you level accusations about my brother, but you don't specifically say which brother. I'm beginning to think that perhaps this sounds like a bad deal for Amric, and perhaps you should leave before I have to call upon my friends and the long arm of the Van Thampor family to handle you and your associate.
It's unfortunate we weren't able to come to a deal. When we're needed, we await the call. Would stand up and say to the Spine Devil, this one is agitating to work with. This mortal will await further instructions. Then I would hold my hands out.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'd hold my hands out to indicate to the goon squad that I'm making no further scene and will leave.
Before you, like as you're gesturing towards, like, the goon squad, towards, I guess, the rest of the tavern, the spined devil shifts a bit on the couch behind you and says in Infernal, perhaps not such coded words. The one deals more directly with the direct.
This mortal will return wearing a more friendly face and attempt to pursue the work of the rightful ruler of Avernus.
Okay.
I would think to Cortana, the mask didn't work. He's on edge. We'll need to try again with honey instead of culty stuff. He's a bit of an idiot.
I'll kind of like
Cortana, you see Amric, put his arms behind his head and throw his feet back up on the desk.
I will finish my ale, flipping extra silver to the barkeep. Say thank you. Here's a little extra. And I'll slowly kind of stumble my way up and slowly make my way to sit here for a few minutes, and I'm gonna kind of look like kind of like spread out, like I'm a little too drunk to like fully walk out, so I'm gonna sit here and get comfy.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to like head out anytime soon, because I don't want them to know where that I'm with them. Just so I can kind of, keep my eyes out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of come over here and make it look like I'm too drunk to
Do a
fully walk out.
performance.
And kind of like sprawl out, like I need to get comfy.
Okay. Do a performance for me.
Performance. Oh, great. This is gonna be pretty.
Robin, you have a
performance.
message, just so you know. Well, I'm gonna say that that's so bad that it's just that good. Like, literally, you just flop down on the couch and you kind of and like sprawl out a bit, and like you see, Amric and like the Kenku and the couple of people there in the bar
Wait,
just kind of like
When
looking
I'm
your
trying to stumble around drunk and I
Yeah.
actually just stumble around
Yeah.
and just
yeah, stub your toe on the process of actually trying to act drunk. You're like, son of a, that hurt my knee. So, all right. Go ahead.
Do I recognize that name?
Have you heard that name yet?
I don't know.
Check
Hold
your
on, wait.
check your notes.
Nope, hold on. Yep. I don't think I have. Somebody else might have, but I don't have that anywhere.
Okay. Luca, what are you doing? Have you completely exited the low lantern and heading out?
If I am not impeded, would go up to the main deck and linger maybe until I can count to 100.
Okay.
And if none of my party has come within that time, then I will assume that they are sticking to the plan, and I will head to at least the head of the wharf to go ditch the mask.
Okay. You come up to the surface of the ship, the main deck of the ship itself. Count to about 75 when a figure walks up the stairs towards you. A cloaked figure approaches, armor clanking with each step. One gloved hand rests upon the hilt of a longsword. The other pulls back a cowl to reveal the face of a teenager with brown skin, red hair, and a haunting gaze. As you are heading towards the stairs, she kind of looks up at you and seems to make contact with you even behind the mask. But you notice that her hand tightens quite a bit on the sword and she tenses.
Would stand, hands steepled, and say, "Something on your mind?"
You look
Me
like
specifically?
a cultist. This is a dangerous city.
Actually, I'm an occult investigator here on an undercover mission wearing the silly mask that I picked up off of a Tiamat informant. It didn't do me very well here, and I feel very ridiculous.
Are you gonna take the mask off at that point in time, or are you gonna leave it on?
I would leave it on for the moment.
Okay. You notice that her posture doesn't seem to change. She seems to be ready for a fight at this moment in time. She stands there and says, "So you say. I've been in this city for a couple of days now and encountered nothing but the lowest of low. You look like another one of the lowest of lows. Now, if you don't mind, I have pressing business. Supposedly somewhere on this ship is a Van Thampor that must be questioned."
There is, bottom deck, sitting in a booth. He has a spine devil over his shoulder. Should watch out. There's 6 or so bouncers, 3 on the first below deck, and then 3 more farther below, maybe 4. There's a servant of Lathander down there that's pretty squared away, came in with me as the muscle, and ranger that hates fiends that is trying to stay down there. Undercover.
Who are you?
I would take off the mask and do a grandiose half bow and say, in my normal voice, Luka Twardowski, friend and occult investigator. And I'd put the mask back on.
You see her whole posture sort of relax. She's still got her hand on her sword a bit, but she seems to relax a little bit. She says, "My name is Rhea Mantlemorn. I am..." She kind of looks over her shoulder to her left and to her right. She leans in a little bit. "A Hell Rider."
What do I know of these Hell Riders, if anything?
You could roll a history if you'd like.
Rhea Manor?
Mantlemorn.
Mantlemorn.
They ride in hell.
I'll put it in chat for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
History, you said?
Yes. You had heard of the Hell Riders, a group of individuals from the city of El Torel that left the
Ooh.
city El Torel and rode with a being sort of charging directly into hell. There is a bit of history about these individuals in which they followed an angel from the plane of Celestia as she had come down from the heavens and sort of went around the city of El Torel, rounding up as many heroic warriors as she could possibly find. Rumor had it that this angel had had enough of the blood war and felt that she needed to take the fight to the blood war. The blood war is the war between devils and demons that constantly rages on the first layer and hell. Essentially, the devils keeping the demons from overtaking that particular plane. Demons are chaos, devils being lawful. So it's law versus chaos, epic battle going on down there.
The Hell Riders happen to have been following Zariel the Super.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, uh-oh.
What?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
What?
So Zariel the angel came down from Celestia and rounded up a bunch of holy warriors, and they took this entire huge army. Zariel opened up a gate to Avernus and took the fight to the first layer in hell. It wasn't very long that gate was open, and people started flowing back out of it, retreating, running from the particular fight, and the gate closed down behind them. It's rumored that some of the people that ran from that particular fight are cowardice, and it's rumored that some of the people that ran from that particular fight are just courageous and were overwhelmed by the amount of evil within hell itself. That is individually based, but essentially Hell Riders were the nickname given to anyone that went and came back. This is also the group of individuals that the Flaming Fist told you that they were looking for, that they believed were in league or responsible for the fall of El Torel.
Fucking sons of bitches.
I don't know about that bit since I haven't worked with the Flaming Fist, but I'll move out of her way and...
Well, when you were drafted by the Flaming Fist, they told you that they were looking for Hell Riders, and that if you were to find them, you were to turn them over.
I will take a big ol' step out of their way and bid them happy hunting, so to speak.
She kind of looks at you and says, you say there's a follower of Lathander down below?
Yes.
Perhaps a description or a name?
I would imagine that the more righteous than thou individual that is clearly sticking out with their Lathander markings would be fairly easy to identify.
Brendan, you would have noticed in your travels with me, I do have a holy symbol of Lathander on my shield.
I had thought as much, so I was just saying I don't think the Lathander follower is going to be the hard one to find here.
She nods and she says, Luka Twardowski, cult investigator. I wish you well in your travels. And she kind of
Give her a business card.
begins to hurry below deck.
I'm sweating bullets as I head the other direction. Like crap.
After
Oh,
a few
warp.
minutes, we'll say like 5 or 6 minutes go by. Luca, you're running off to the end of the warp to ditch your disguise, I imagine.
Yeah, to like if I can, I'll chuck the mask into the sewage over the side.
Okay. Robin, are
It's
you gonna
like-
stay there the entire time?
I
Luca,
am
you're
not
running,
taking my-
doing your thing right this moment in time.
Yeah.
Cortana, you're still acting drunk and kind of acting like you're passed out on the couch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not passed out, but like
Yeah, acting
comfy,
Acting.
little less drunk, but yeah,
Okay.
you know.
It's only been about 5 or 10 minutes when a figure kind of like comes up to the bar and she stands there and kind of takes a look around, sort of eyes Robin and the whole group of individuals here at this particular bar. And she comes over and sits down across from you.
Do I, being a follower of the Thunder and stuff, do I know anything about the Hell Riders? I do remember you mentioned them when we first started the campaign, and I feel like they were mentioned in the song at the Elf Song Tavern.
Ah, they were, because I do believe you guys have that in your player handouts. The Elf Song Tavern should be in your journals if you guys
Yeah.
want to check that out.
So I'm just wondering, would I know how to recognize someone as a Hell Rider? Like, are there any distinguishes that mark a Hell Rider?
No, there's no like distinguishing insignia
Okay.
on them. But the young teenage female sits down across the bench from you. Let me change my music to something more appropriate for this. Nope, that's not good. It's very dramatic. I don't want dramatic. Go peaceful. See how this works out. Okay. Since we're doing a bit of RP here, give me a second to change up the music. She sits down across from you, Cortana, and kind of, it's like looking you over. And one of her eyebrows raises and says, "Are you drunk?"
What's it look like?
It looks like you're pretending to be drunk.
Well, looks can be deceiving.
Yes.
Gotta remember, I don't know she's a Hell Rider, so I
Yeah, yeah.
So.
She says, "Yes, looks can be deceiving, as I just found out a few minutes ago. Do you know a Luka Twardowski? Trawowski?"
Thinking back to the previous conversation, do I remember if Luca gave his real name to in his conversation with Van Tham?
He did not give his real name to Van Tham.
Okay, I didn't want to be like, yes, I know, in a same room where he gave his name away. Quietly, yes, why?
Luca says that you're a follower of Lathander.
I am. I'm not trying to hide that down here at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of impossible to hide. So,
I see your holy symbol, and perhaps you can help me. I have a bit of a tale to tell, and I've been looking for assistance for quite some time now.
well, what makes you think I should be able to trust you?
My name is Rhea Mantelmorn. I was training a few miles north of El Terrell when the city vanished. I watched in disbelief as the companion's light went out, turned black as the city appeared to crumble and sink below the horizon. That horrific image has been stuck in my mind ever since. I returned to El Terrell to find a crater where the city once stood. I took it upon myself to lead a group of refugees west to Baldur's Gate. Right before the Flaming Fist closed the gates, I and a few others were able to sneak inside. But we didn't get far before a group of Flaming Fist soldiers confronted us. I and my companions, we scattered in the hubbub. I was followed and cornered by a Flaming Fist thug. In a quick battle, I wounded him. He wasn't really able to protect himself very well. I've been a wanted fugitive ever since. I haven't been in Baldur's Gate long, but this city is a cesspool of corruption, death lurking around every foggy corner. I've been investigating a rumor that Thavius Krieg, the High Overseer of Elturel, is in the city. I haven't been able to confirm whether or not that rumor is true, but reports say that Craig has been seen in the company of 4 guards employed by the Van Thampor family. The Van Thampor estate is located in Upper City, beyond my reach. I learned that Emmerich Van Thampor runs a business here out of the Low Lantern. I aim to question him on the veracity of this rumor.
You still didn't necessarily give me a particular reason to trust you. Why did the Flaming Fist stop you?
Well, as I said, they were in the process of brutalizing myself and a few other refugees as we came through the gates, and I felt like I had defended myself. When I wounded the poor idiot that was left alone with me, they called his friends and they yelled out that I was a wanted criminal. Listen, I've done nothing wrong other than protect myself. I followed Zariel in her holy quest to the...
I'll stop her right there and reach into her after saying she followed. I imagine I know about Zariel and that quest. I mean,
Sure.
I'll stop her as soon as I'll cut her off in her mind. You have earned my trust. And I will sever my connection with Luca, since he is not in sight and outside my 40-foot range anyways.
Okay.
You can communicate this way more securely.
Okay. She tells you that... So the name that I've typed there into chat, Thavius Craig, the High Overseer of El Terrell, she's on a mission to locate this particular individual. She's trying to find out any information she possibly can about his whereabouts or what might have happened to him. You get the feeling that she sort of reveres him and his position in El Terrell. He's sort of a religious figure to their city. Gleaming from her mind, you can tell that this particular individual is a lawful, good citizen that wanted to do the right thing and saw extreme horrors when she went to hell with Zariel. You know that she led as many possible survivors out of the war from the plane of Avernus, and that she, was trying to save as many people as she possibly could, that they were outmatched and overwhelmed in that particular plane, and she believes that they had no business being there in the first place.
That's what Thavius Craig believes, that they have
Rhea believes that she has that they had no business, that they were completely not ready for the terrors and the horrors that waited them. They went in with religious zeal and, with an angel leading them and a bunch of religious people, and they were greatly unprepared and greatly overwhelmed within an hour of getting there, and they barely got out with their lives. You can imagine she's suffering from PTSD, going to hell and back.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of the same goals. I'm working with a group.
Hold on just a second. Luca, at this moment in time, if you want to be on your way back.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Payne. Sorry. Trying to
no
bring the
worries.
party back together.
I ditched it and heading back as just goofy old Luca.
Okay.
We sounds like we have a lot of the same goals. The battle on that plane has seemed to be spreading into the material world. And
What do you mean?
we are investing. Well, with Elturel. Why am I blanking on city that just vanished? Then we heard something about. We were in the Elf Song Tavern. The song that it sung implied that it had something to do with your ride into hell and back. It spoke of you, or your group. But we've been investigating these cults and in town that have been killing people. Recently find out that they might have a connection to stuff going on, and that the Van Thampers might have played a role in the vanishing of the city. I feel like I remember something about that last time we played, or the time before, that they played some sort of role in like the vanishing of the flaming fist person.
Oh,
That
older Raven Guard?
yes, right. All the Raven Guard's missing.
Yes, I believe that I had heard a rumor that he was on his way to El Terrell right before it vanished.
Yes, we heard rumor of that the Van Thampers played a part in sending him there, or something along the lines. It
Will you be going?
didn't get a lot of information.
Will you be going to the Van Thampor Villa? That's where I believe Thavius Krieg is being held. I believe that the Van Thampors have him prisoner. And I intend to try to find answers as much as I possibly can. If you're going that way, I'd like to join you if at all possible.
I would have to speak to my companions, but I believe that would be a good choice. We're trying to gather as much information as we can and dismantle as much as we can before getting there to reduce any threats that might occur.
That would align greatly with what I desire.
You're awfully quiet over here. Been staring intently at each other. I know that look.
She kind of startles for just a moment and looks up at you, and you must be the ranger Luca spoke of.
Perhaps.
Just
Okay,
blowing my
so-
cover.
They were talking out loud for just a minute
Mhm.
before they started talking telepathically. Did I hear her say Zerial?
I would say yeah. you would overhear the word Zuriel. Luca, if you want to arrive back in the tavern at the appropriate floor now, you may feel free to do so.
Okay, passing this door again.
Sorry.
Uh,
Which door?
sorry.
Okay.
First below decks.
Yep.
I wanted to test the weight with one of my hands, to see if it's locked.
Uno momento. At this moment in time, I believe that there's a possibility that Cortana, you can be using like your mind speaking to kind of catch Robin up. If you want to say that.
Yeah, I'll
So she's like kind of filling you in while I'm taking care of Luca.
yeah.
If you guys don't
Yes, I'll
mind.
fill Robin in on everything.
You put your hand on the door, and the door swings inward a bit. It also, as it swings in, you hear this loud, and this particular individual here kind of turns the corner and looks in your particular direction and says, "Arr! Off limit to patrons."
Hold both hands up and say, "Slip of the hand on uneven surfaces. Needed to catch myself. I thought it would be locked."
He reaches over and grabs the door, latches it, and then takes up his position. You manage to catch, like, I'll say, that much of the inside as the door swings open.
Okay. It sounded like someone was grunting on the other side. I kind of missed what the sound it was.
It was just the door squeaking as it opened,
Okay.
but nothing in particular. As you're walking past this person, you notice him kind of nod towards the owner of the tavern, who kind of looks at you weird, and maybe you get the feeling that perhaps you just passed her room. So, sorry. We'll go back below decks, and then unless there's anything else, Luca, you want to do while you're up there.
I'll pull up to where I'm at, look at the bartender, put on my winningness grin, and say, "Ale, please."
She looks at you and smiles back and says, "But of course." She just gestures to the Kenku barkeep, who pours a cup of ale, sets it on the table, and she says, 2 copper, please."
Would set 2 copper down happily, and for now, kind of carouse there.
Okay. You set the 2 copper in her hand, and you witness this crab on her shoulder kind of like climb across, climb down her arm, and then like pick up the 2 copper pieces in its claws, and then like climb back up and around. And by the time it gets back here, the copper pieces are gone.
That's
Interesting.
Cool. I wish I saw that. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll alley-oop to the party below. I want to try to keep some ability to be asymmetric if bad stuff happens below.
Okay. You take a couple of 5 extra minutes there while Cortana is catching Robin up with what transpired with Rhea.
Yeah, I do that quickly, and then I stand up and yell at Robin, "How dare you insult me like that? Now back out of my face before the guards have to pull us apart." And I'm gonna walk over here and order another drink. I'm trying to maintain my cover that I'm not with Robin.
Okay. This bouncer kind of, snaps to. You see this one as well. You both notice that this particular individual over on the other side just kind of does one of these numbers, looks over at you, and just kind of goes back to watching the aft end of the ship.
Cortana, I'm going to tell you that before you walk away, there is a righteous fury in my eyes at the mention of Zariel being the angel that led the charge into hell.
You would have to say that out loud because I didn't break my link with Rhea. I just kind of informed you of, like, told you everything quickly, and then
Yes,
insulted
but-
you. So you didn't.
So you would just see the righteous.
Oh,
like,
okay,
light
okay. You're just
glow.
saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. See, you already look pissed, so it's believable.
I'm righteously pissed. Like, you saw this level of pissed once before I went all radiant.
Rhea seems to kind of be torn, like, between the two of you. She doesn't seem to really know, like...
As I'm, like, getting up, I'll, like, tell her in her mind, I'll be like, just trying to maintain a cover.
She seems to sort of visibly relax, but she gets up and then shifts couches away from Robin to, you would guess, in a sort of an assist to your cover.
Okay.
So.
And then I'll flip another silver to the barkeep to go grab a drink.
You notice that he does pull...
just some...
He pulls another
What?
cup out from underneath of the counter and sets it in front of you.
I'll say, just some water this time. I'm a lightweight, need to sober up a little.
Alright. Water for the pansy.
Yes, I love it.
You know us priests, we can't hold our liquor.
Alright, if you gotta pee, use the portal. Its wing is like pointing towards the stairs that lead down.
Oh, that's great.
And then it just goes back to cleaning
I'm-
glasses.
I'm going to mentally talk to Cortana a minute.
She hasn't given you that power. She's got that with Rhea.
Yeah, I retained it on Rhea.
It. Okay,
I can only give it to one person at a time.
got it. All right. Well, then there's nothing stopping me. I'm gonna go up here because I'm angry.
Okay.
I'm
Emmerich.
gonna go full.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go full radiant. 'cause
Okay.
I'm angry, so I don't know if that's gonna initiate anything.
You go full radiant. Your eyes glow luminous, and I believe that a set of wings come out of your back.
Wings come out of my back. Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second here. We gotta change the music for this particular.
Yeah, it says, I unleash my divine energy, causing my eyes to glimmer and two luminous incorporeal wings to sprout from my back.
Okay. As you sort of flare up, the spined devil on the back of the couch just kind of like jumps up, flaps a couple of times, and resituates itself on the opposite side of Amric, who sort of turns and looks up at you and says, "Listen, my dear, if you need to purchase a love potion for your jilted lover, or perhaps you need to purchase some calming tea, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement where my gold can assist you in your needs. Are you looking for a loan?"
I'm gonna look straight at the devil, and in what is it? Infernal? That's
Yeah.
what he was talking.
Yeah.
How dare you defile the name of Zariel? And I will pull out an arrow and shoot him.
All right. Well, hold on just a second. Let me.
Wait, when did the devil say Zariel?
Yeah. Luca's seeing this shit. It's like, ah,
Hey, did I
Damn
miss
it.
that?
You
All
did
right.
miss that.
All right. Let me.
Do you speak Infernal?
No, but I'm like
Then you would
mentally
have-
out of game. I'm thinking like, did I miss the devil? It mentions it.
It was
said in Infernal, so you did not catch
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so go ahead and let's get everybody rolled initiative. Let's do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Since,
go in first.
Yes! Yes! So happy right now.
ah,
I think I'm trying to maintain a cover.
Yeah, so am I.
Well, technically, Robin, like they know Robin associated with the estranged occultist, not Luca. So
all right. So, gosh, this is gonna be interesting. All right, Robin, you pull out your arrow and you just go ahead and I'm gonna guess point blank at this spined devil. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Sorry, the music was a little bit loud for me. Well, 22 is definitely going to hit.
And he takes 4 more damage on top of that is radiant. Because, wait, hold on. Let me check the wording. You can deal extra radiant damage to one target when you deal damage with an attacker. So yeah,
isn't your attack a disadvantage?
Uh,
You have an enemy. Didn't you say your bow?
Nobody
Yeah.
was expecting it, so it's just going to be a normal attack.
If I try to do it after this, then
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would apply,
but
yeah.
this first attack, I'm not going to say is at disadvantage. It's just it wasn't expecting it, and then so it's 4 additional radiant damage.
Correct.
Okay. So you see the arrow hit the spine devil and sort of gash into its shoulder and sort of go through it. You realize that it didn't take nearly all of the brunt of that particular attack. It for
Okay.
sure took the radiant damage. It seemed to kind of reel from that, but it did not do very much more than that.
Before my turn is over, I am going to. How high is the ceiling in here?
8 feet.
8 feet. Okay. Well, that doesn't. That's fine. That's fine. No, I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay.
I was gonna try to fly, but the ceiling's not really high enough to do that. So.
You could sort of leap backwards, but flying is not going to be something that you can do with an 8-foot ceiling.
Get like a foot off the floor just for the sake
Okay,
of my.
just woof, and kind of like bring yourself
Yeah.
up
To
a
look
little bit.
intimidating.
So I'm kind of levitating and I look scary. Is kind of my
Okay.
thought process.
All right. We'll go ahead and go to Luca. You hear the sound of Robin's attack, and everybody.
And I'm sure I yelled.
You know.
I
think you
yelled
can
that.
freeze-
I yelled that. I didn't even care who heard me.
I'm gonna look at the bouncer next to me and say, "This happen often?"
He kind of is looking past the stairs at the other 2 bouncers, and every fucking night.
Would shrug and just draw my wand to look like I'm ready to do what needs doing.
Okay. You're not gonna take any action though?
I'm gonna hold my action if this bouncer attacks one of my companions, then I will cast Eldritch Blast at him
Okay.
once he has moved past me.
Okay. This bouncer here takes a couple steps away from you, stands there, crosses his arms, and seems to be kind of watching what's going on at the other end of the ship at this moment in time.
Okay.
It is Kashira's turn, the spined devil. Let's see. It
And we all.
it flaps its wings and sort of takes off of the couch, and you see its tail come around, and two spines shoot out at you, Robin.
Great.
The first spine is a 6, so that's gonna drastically
Dodge.
miss, just kind of like into the wall next to you. The next spine that comes towards you is a 14.
Miss.
Okay. This one gets a little bit closer, but right through the incorporeal wing to your back, just kind of like pokes a hole in it, and then lands in the, I will say the stairwell right here, right behind you. And it's flying right this moment in time. Cortana.
You put me in such a tough position here, Robin.
Yeah, I know. It's what I
Hope you know
do.
that. That's what you do.
I
Your
held it
deaths
together
are
for
all
so long.
The- do I maintain some cover here? I'm going to. I'm gonna say. Thunder, damn it! Be gone, devil, and I will. Sacred flame.
At the spine devil?
Yes.
Okay. Uno momento.
Let me hit that sacred flame.
That's an 8.
That's 8 radiant damage.
8 radiant damage. Okay.
And then
The spined devil sort of shrieks out in pain as the bolt of radiant light comes down upon it. It's looking blackened and kind of shriveled, and it's getting smaller, so it looks pretty beat up right this moment in time.
And then I will summon a spiritual weapon.
A spiritual weapon. Hold on a second. Let me copy and paste your spiritual weapon token over to our current battlefield. Do you have control over that? Yeah.
So Van Thamp is sitting down, right?
He is in the sitting position, so he is currently prone.
So advantage.
Oh no.
24. That's going to hit him for sure. Jeez.
For 9 force damage.
Okay. Big spiritual hammer comes down and kind of like catches him right on the side of the chest as he's sitting there, just kind of like looking shocked at everything that's happening around him.
And then I will stand up off of my stool
Okay.
and just look over at Rhea and in her head say, well, looks like negotiations are in pause.
Yeah. Emmerich jumps up out of the chair that he's sitting in, reaches inside of his cloak, and pulls out this round-looking ball, strikes it on top, and throws it on the ground right in front of him. And as a result, this thick cloud of smoke sort of envelops Robin and that end of the ship, and it is completely pitch black. You are blind as it is heavily obscured in that particular direction. You can hear people moving around in there, though. Dang it. Trying to grab the one specific token that I want, and apparently I can't do it. So, Cortana, you see Amaric. He appears from the smoke there in front of you. He pulls out a wicked-looking dagger. And let's see. Does he have anything else that he can do at this moment in time? He's going to go ahead and try to get past you. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
He has that much movement? He had to stand up.
Wow.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
You may certainly try to take an attack of opportunity against him. So that's going to be 17 because it's the left hand number. The 17 will just hit him as he is running by you. 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. He stops there because that's the end of his particular movement for right this moment in time. The man at the end of the bar with the red ponytail that's just been kind of sitting there, kind of sleepy-eyed this entire time, jumps up and swings his mace at Cortana. So he's going to go ahead and attack you with a mace. That's a 15, Cortana.
No.
And a 19.
19 hits.
That's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage from that 19.
Alright.
He's going to go ahead and position himself right here and kind of like start to block you from like chasing after Amaric. Robin, all of a sudden it is pitch black and you can't see hide nor hair of anything around you.
Great. I'm gonna throw my arms out. Like, I got my bow in one hand, but I know there was a wall.
Okay.
Can I feel the wall?
You kind of just throw your arm out and you do find the wall over to your left.
Okay, can I follow it backwards?
Sure, you could follow it backwards.
I mean, if it costs me a little bit of movement, I would understand trying to fumble a bit. I really just wanted to move 10 feet from where I am backwards. So, if I have to stumble a bit and...
Yeah, you could find the wall itself, and we'll say it's like difficult terrain for you because you're using
That's
the
fair.
wall to move yourself back.
So, I just wanted to get to, like, right there.
Okay.
I mean, kind of between the wall and here.
Yeah.
Can I see him from here, like, over the couches?
Can you see Amaric from there?
Yeah, like, taking in my surroundings.
Yeah, you can see Amaric from there.
Actually, I suppose it'd probably be more right here since I was following the wall. How do I get it? Never mind, it doesn't matter.
Hold down the Alt button if you want it to.
I just, like, I'm right kind of
Yep,
by
that's
the wall. Right there. I want to yell at him to burn in the light. That's my new marking him phrase.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot him
All right.
with my bow. Hope for the best.
Geez, 23 is gonna hit him.
Okay, so this, and then this.
So 14.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and then 4 because my radiance.
Okay.
So a total of 18. Sorry.
The arrow
Turn.
pierces him in the back. He sort of stumbles. The shaft sticking out of his back is bleeding quite profusely. You can tell now that he is pretty bloodied from that particular attack.
Neat. Okay, that was action and bonus action.
Okay. Luca.
I'm gonna move to the base of the stairs, and if Varric makes it to me, I want to like be ready with like my rigmarole of "We gotta get you out of here, buddy."
Okay.
Amric.
Okay. Okay.
Amric.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So you basically you're gonna kind of like pretend to be all like, we need to get you out of here, and like taking him up the stairs.
yeah, I want to. If he rounds around, I want to try to like help. Like, essentially, what I want to do is be moving with him and try to like shoot eldritch blasts and stuff at nothing to give the impression that I'm trying to cover him out.
Okay. All right. You're gonna play Secret Service.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
I don't know how we're playing this, but I know we need information from him, and this is what I got at the moment.
It's perfect.
He may be dead by the time he makes it around the corner.
So
Anything's possible.
a couple of seconds later, out of the cloud of smoke comes the spined devil towards you, Robin.
Of course. No
Uh,
other way.
it's gonna go ahead and bite at you. That's a 19 with its bite.
Yep, he bit me.
It's gonna be 5 slashing damage with its teeth.
Question.
Okay.
There were 5 temporary hit points on my sheet. Was that given before the long rest or after?
You guys haven't taken a long rest yet.
Okay, then that's my hit points.
Um,
No more temporary hit points.
It's then going to
yeah, okay.
use its little tiny demonic fork, pitchfork looking thing, and try to stab you with it. That's a 20, not a natural 20, but a regular 20.
Oh, you little shit!
For 6 more points of piercing damage. And it's going to continue to fly beyond you, and it does not provoke attacks of opportunity as it has
He's too quick.
fly by.
He's a nimble little shit.
And he has 40 feet of movement, so he's going to wind up sort of hovering over near Cortana, but above. The
Stab me with his little fork, jerk.
the Kenku is gonna go ahead and dive behind the bar here. Rhea stands up on the couch and like Superfly Jimmy Snuka leaps into the air and like crash lands onto Amric, bringing him down to the ground, tackling him. And yells out, "Don't kill him! He's the only one that can get us in that knows where Thevius is!" And seems to be wrestling him / protecting him from you guys. Cortana.
I'll quickly reply to in her head. I don't plan to kill him. I can't get information from a dead person. Just knock him out. And then I will move my spiritual hammer 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. And so wing, bada, bada, swing. On the devil.
The spine hammer swings close towards, or the spiritual hammer swings close towards the spine devil, who nimbly avoids and dodges the hammer.
So you'll want to play that game. I'm going to then use my action to Sacred Flame him.
Sacred flame at the
Re-radiant.
spine devil.
Yes.
Okay. That's an 18 dexterity saving throw as the spine devil just spins and the sacred flame drops right around it. It seems to be pretty quick.
And then I'm going to, I imagine, provoke an attack of opportunity.
You didn't completely leave.
Spine devil.
Oh, from the spine
No,
devil? He's not close enough for that. He was flying up towards the ceiling, and he's a small creature.
Alright. So I'm gonna go down here.
Okay. Let's see. Amaric's turn is up next. Amaric is going to try to wiggle his way out of the hold. Okay, that's that person's roll. Let me bring up Rhea's athletics and see what this contest is going to wind up with. Oh! Amaric is like wiggling, but Rhea's got him like in a death grip, and like his wriggling is just kind of like getting him in closer. She rolled a natural 20 and he rolled a 10. So he's not going anywhere from that. The red-haired ponytail guy, he's going to step over here, and he's going to go ahead and try to bring his mace down on Cortana. First mace attack is going to be a 19, Cortana.
That would normally hit, but oh no, that's shield of face of the bottom protection. Wait, I thought I had shield on here. No. Oops, not what I wanted to click on.
You haven't cast that yet. You just got spiritual hammer.
No, I know. I meant to close my description and not cast it. I thought I had shield on here, but I don't.
Okay, that's a whopping 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the mace. You can hear Amaric yell out, "Get them off of me!" And the thug brings down his mace again, this time with a natural 20 on top of your head, Cortana, for a whopping 12 points of damage.
That's gonna hurt.
Robin.
So I heard him yell that.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming then saw that attack.
Mm-hmm.
So for the sake of self-preservation, I'm going to yell, "Burn in the light" to the guard right here.
Wait,
This guard hasn't moved.
Don't provoke more.
What about this one?
No, it's this guy.
They are standing there. They seem to be just like watching what's happening.
Okay.
Just this guy, and then the one dude's under Rhea and the devil. That's all we gotta fight at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, if you
Well,
want
then
to
I'm-
attack a bouncer,
No, that's fine. I thought he had moved.
Yeah,
So
we don't
I'll
need
yell
7
that.
bounce.
I'll yell that at the devil and then shoot him.
14. The arrow just like right by into the wall. It just barely dodged out of the way. Anything else?
I want to move here.
Okay.
And then I'm good.
Luca, you heard the big thud and like it's right behind the stairs.
And lots of shouting. It's like, okay, developing situation. 5, 10, 15,
Oh,
I'm going to level my wand
Let's see first.
and kind of smirk because I think we had miscommunication, the two of us.
Yep.
And I will attempt to Eldritch Blast the Spine Devil.
go ahead and make your attack roll. A 9. That's gonna
Oh, dang it.
go right underneath the spine devil as it's trying to like dodge arrows and sacred flames.
Then I will use my newfound talents to move this way and bonus action hide.
Okay. Roll your stealth, please.
Now I have to finish this, because having a devil mad at me would be problematic.
Awesome. The spined devil is gonna
Oh, wonderful.
5, 10, and it's going to bite at Cortana as it's flying by you. That's a natural 20 as well. So that's a 22 total for 11 points of slashing damage.
Guys, I'm not doing hot.
The spine devil comes around the corner here and then flicks one of its
Do I get
tail
an
spines.
opportunity attack?
No, it has flyby. Doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach. He's too quick. Flicks a tail spine towards Luca, and that's a 16 as a tail spike comes at you, Luca.
That'll hit.
That's going to be 5 piercing damage and 4 fire damage.
Oof.
Oh, that's nothing, dude.
That brings up Cortana.
Yeah. I'm gonna move my spiritual up and down 5, 10, 15, 20 to right here.
Okay.
And I will swing at this guy who's been hitting me.
The thug.
He's a thug.
That is for sure going to hit him.
19.
11
For
points.
11 points.
Jeez. Yeah, a
Uh,
solid crack right across his head, and blood starts flowing from the side of his face.
And I'm not doing hot, so I'm gonna hold up my shield and brace for certain impacts by taking the dodge action.
Okay. Awesome. Amric is going to try to wiggle and scriggle. Let's see, we got an acrobatics. Ooh, that's a good roll. Versus Rhea's
Come on, Rhea.
athletics. Oh my goodness. You see them like rolling around and wrestling, and like Amric starts to kind of like get his way out, and then you see Rhea just kind of like wrap her legs around his lower half and then like roll him over and then slam his head into that pole right there, the mast, and Amric kind of just stops struggling so much. She manages to keep a hold of him. The thug, Valtes, is going to go ahead and take another swing at poor Cortana, but this one is not going to be as good. That's another natural 20 at you for a grand total of a 24.
It's disadvantage though.
Due to pack tactics, he has advantage, so it's a normal attack roll. So, unfortunately, that's only 8 points of bludgeoning damage. That's doubled. And one more mace.
8 points
Yep,
of bludgeoning damage.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, well, I'm down.
Oh. Okay. Spiritual hammer goes away.
Yeah, that was exactly what I needed to be knocked out.
Cortana
Somebody
is...
had to go pick a fight before.
That's what I do. Are you really surprised right now?
Cortana, as she falls to the ground, her last bit of consciousness is pissed off at Robin, not waiting until Luca was here.
It won't be the last time.
It might be the last time.
Robin, you are up. You see Valtus knock out Cortana and then reach down and grab Emeric's hands and is trying to help free him from Rhea.
Oh, hell no. I'm gonna yell at him to burn in the light.
Okay. That's a hit.
Okay, so 5 plus 8 plus 4.
The arrow drives deep right into his chest. He coughs up a whole mess of blood all over the floor. He's swaying back and forth. He does not look good. Luca.
Will aim again at the Spine Devil. And I will say the usurper will get what she deserves and send another Eldritch Blast.
Oh man.
15 will hit. Connects
Yeah,
just
buddy.
with the shoulder of the Spine Devil. 8 points of force damage. The Eldritch Blast nails Kashara in the chest, and in Infernal, you hear "Long Reign Zeriel" as it vanishes from this plane of existence.
I thought as much. Ooh.
Did I
No.
hear that?
I'm gonna say no, you did not hear that.
Ah, okay.
You are too angry over there on your side of the ship.
I'm pretty pissed.
Yeah.
I am gonna disengage. So I don't, like, from where I'm standing, I don't know what the combat situation looks like, so I'll opt to disengage to the 10 feet over towards Robin. Like, what a head trip.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can I see Robin down?
You can see Cortana down.
Oh, sorry, Cortana down. Okay, no, new priority. I'll yell over. I'll get Cortana.
When Cortana comes back,
She'll
she'll
look over at you with like silvery flaring eyes.
Just do the like hiccup thumbs up. Just like I can cure once.
Cortana's gonna have to make a death saving throw when she comes back. Emmerich is going to continue to weasel. He's going to have advantage on his acrobatics check, as now he has assistance from Baltus. Okay. And Rhea's regular old athletics to maintain the grapple on him. Oh, unfortunately, Emmerich is pulled out and away from Rhea and is now free from her particular grapple. Uses half of his movement to stand up. 5, 10, 15. Valtus, he used his action to free. Then he's going to start to kind of like back up his particular boss. Is that Cortana back? Nope. Alright. Robin!
Saw them run. I'm going to go right here
Okay.
and shoot Baltus. Was that his name?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell him to burn the light first.
Alright. That's a hit.
Great.
I mean, the shot right into his eye. Splurts out eye goo all over the place and down.
Way overkill.
Yeah, way down he goes. Poof. So,
Yeah, because that was 17 points of damage.
Yeah.
And then I want to turn my bow. I realize I can't attack. And I'm going to turn my bow to Amric and say, "You're next. Surrender."
Okay. Go ahead and do an intimidation with advantage due to your radiance going on right this moment in time. All right. Luca.
Oh, hard decisions. But I know what I'm picking. I'm going to go back to the original strategy. Move here. And if Amric tries to run past me, I'm going to ready Arms of Hadar.
All right. Unfortunately, Cortana has to make another death saving throw. But either way, that wouldn't be a bad failure or anything like that. Let's see. Amric is up. Let me see what he's got here now. Let me roll a check here. Okay. Amric takes a step forward. Are you, Luca? Are you looking threatening? What is your current posture?
I'm looking like I'm in the middle of a fight. Seeing him, I'm gonna try to look supportive as best I can. I won't point my wand at him.
Okay.
It's his choice.
He's
gonna set this off.
He seems to look at you for just a moment, glance back over towards Robin and the downed Cortana, leans in close to you and says, "Get me out of here, and I can make it worth your while." The Van Thancor's arms go far and wide. Those two are probably going to die, but I can line your pocket with lots of gold.
Okay, I'm gonna lean in and say, I am so glad that we see the same. I'll pocket my wand and try to help him get out of here.
Okay. Amric is going to continue up the stairs. Robin.
We're betrayed right now. What the fuck just happened? I am so pissed. I'm going to use my healing hands. It's my action. But Cortana gets 4 hit points.
Okay.
I don't know what she's gonna roll, but I'm gonna
that's fine.
assuming she doesn't completely fail.
She rolls 2 natural ones, she's dead, but
right.
we'll work on that.
But I want to give her that 4, assuming the worst case doesn't happen. And then Did Luca go with him?
Luca, did you move?
I don't know if I can move as he goes, since it's not my turn.
Okay. I'm gonna say right this moment in time you can't, since we're in combat order. So, Robin, you...
As I go past, what have you done? Because that was 20 feet.
Yeah.
I want to get past him, so I imagine I'm just going to get right here.
Okay. Amric is at the top of the stairs. You could just see him.
Coward! I can't do anything else. I used my action, so.
Okay. Luca.
I'm gonna try to shove past her, but as we're in the spot where I'm trying to go alongside her, I'm gonna say try to say under my breath, save Cortana. I'm trying to move past you and say save Cortana.
I think she's talking to a kid. Sorry. She's distracted.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I'm all.
no worries. I'm trying to move past you to get to Amric, and as I'm like within the same square as you, I'm trying to say as my interaction, save Cortana. I've got to tail this guy.
That'll work. I'll let her know.
Okay. And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement, assuming that she doesn't try to kill me, to basically like bodyguard him and try to move with him to get him out of there.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, Luca, are you trying to be deceptive about this information? I'm gonna ask you. If you are, I want you to go ahead and roll the deception to me. If you're trying to be persuasive to convince her that this is the best course of action, I would like you to roll the persuasion to me.
Okay. I am being genuine.
You don't have to tell her if you don't want to.
Okay.
This kind of gives you the power to perceive what I think.
Mm.
All right. So you are trying to be persuasive that this is the best course of action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Luca does seem to be pretty genuine. That he's going to the feeling that you get. I imagine that Luca's trying to sort of set here is he's going to follow Amric and kind of become a confidant.
Yeah, that's definitely like I'm trying. Like the important part is save Cortana. I saw her go down and have to. Like I'm unscrupulous. I've got to stick with this. Gets away, we're screwed.
As you're running away with him, I will yell, "If I catch you, I'll kill you both."
That's
And just leave it at that.
That's motivating.
Okay. Is that a sincere threat, or is that to help sell Luca's deception?
That's
You
totally
can-
to help sell
Okay.
deception.
I was gonna say you can tell me if you want, or you can tell him. Okay.
No. I would try to be as realistic as possible to sell it, because this is all we've got right now.
Okay. At this moment in time, I'm going to go ahead and remove you guys from combat. Cortana, you come to. Rhea is there. She's got you in her arms. She seems to be trying to sort of like patch the wounds on you. You realize that you've come to consciousness. She seems to be taking care of you. You can hear like the thundering steps of people running away. Amric is immediately after your turn, and so I'm going to say that he's basically going to use his action to kind of escape with Luca. Luca, you're going to follow him to his destination.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with him, and if we get into narrative time, I have already worked up what I'm gonna try to sell him to get into his good graces.
Let's you and I work on that a bit. I think this is a good spot for us to particularly end today's episode.
Okay.
I think that being said, that was a pretty good combat, and I think it's a good story point for us to end today's episode on. There was a lot of jumbling around. Sorry for the viewers at home. You got to see me try to adjust OBS, the recording, as I was trying to DM at the same time when people were coming in and out. And I appreciate everybody's flexibility with like staying late and having party members sort of appear and party members sort of disappear. And so I really appreciate
It's Baldur's Gate, okay? Crazy stuff happens. People have errands to run and deals to make. And,
Yeah.
I think we're in Barovia.
Yeah. Brendan, why don't you send me any sort of information that you want to try to sell to Amric, and I'm gonna respond with like where you wind up and maybe give you guys some time to kind of process before the party members meet back up next time we play.
Okay.
Okay. Luca's going to get a little bit of information, and I'm going to try to provide you guys with a little bit of information too from maybe Rhea. So, but with that, we're going to end today's episode with Luca and Amric escaping from the party, as Luca has sold the deception that he has turned on the party and sort of become a bad guy with Amric. Cortana, you're gonna have to catch up with this in a bit, but I'm gonna.
Cortana is gonna definitely wake up pissed at Robin.
I'm gonna stop the recording
Robin's just pissed. Robin's just pissed so much.
there. We'll
Oh my
see you
God.
next time on Baldur's Gate. Stay safe out there in the world. Bye.
Bye.